Hello everybody, in this occasion we have the pleasure to present Dr. Renan Pineda. He has extensive experience in the agriculture and especially with crops such as sorghum, beans, and the others. He is a teacher of Zamorano University and he is the unit chief of the grain and seeds. And now we are going to release some questions about the low tobacco, and I'm going to present the other integrants of the group: Noel Puyol, Cristian Gavilanes, y Edison Salazar. Cristian, you have
Uh, good morning, doctor. The interview is about tobacco law here in Honduras and in the other countries. And the first question that we have is that if you could you please talk a little about the tobacco law here in Honduras?
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for the question. What do you want to know about the tobacco law?
How the tobacco law affects the production and the consumption of tobacco here in the country.
Okay. Basically, there is a great concern from the tobacco producers, either if the production is used for cigars or for cigarettes, that this law is going to affect them, the producers, with the production of tobacco. At this time, 3 months ago, we were visiting a tobacco production plant, cigars, Danlí, El Paraíso, and they basically mentioned that there is a big concern from them, mainly because they are the main employers in the area of crop production, because Danlí in Honduras is an area of tobacco production, and there are huge areas planted of tobacco. And they mentioned that if this law takes effect, which by the way is expected to take effect every year that passes, they are expecting that the law is going to take effect that particular year. So they are really worried about whether we are going to plant or not. Is the law going to, because as you know, the law basically eliminates the use of tobacco either for cigars or for cigarettes, and at the same time eliminates the possibility to plant tobacco with those purposes. Since the crop tobacco doesn't really is not used for any other purpose, basically the purpose that the plant has is to produce either cigars or cigarettes. Consequently, all the labor that is employed by these companies is going to be out of job if that happens. And this is basically what they mentioned, and I basically transmitting this, the feelings of those farmers over there.
Okay.
The second question, doctor, what are the principal tobacco plagues?
Tobacco places?
No, plagues.
Oh, plagues. Okay. Well, I am not completely familiar with the crop, agronomic activities of the crop. It's not one of my strong crops that I have, although I have seen some tobacco plantations in the past, and I think that one of the major problems as to plagues, if we consider a disease also as a plague, not only insects, a disease would also be considered a plague. The virus, tobacco mosaic virus, is one of the diseases that is been devastating the crops, tobacco crops everywhere. In terms of plagues, we do have some plagues or insects, I would say, that are similar, that affect the family, okay, like the tomato, tobacco. These are within the Solanaceae family, and these insects also attack tobacco and attack tomato and other Solanaceae. Consequently, the white fly, Mosca blanca, is also a problem in tobacco. As a matter of fact, these transmit the viruses that we've been talking about. Uh, the white fly is one of the major transmitters of the tobacco mosaic virus. Consequently, because it is a vector of this disease, the good control or practices to control the white fly would be a good practice to go in the tobacco. There are some other, larvae or Emiptera, the order Emiptera that are also important in the tobacco crop. They damage the stalk, the leaves are damaged. Some other fungi, for example, anthracnose, that will damage the leaf. Since the leaf is what we use for the production of cigars or cigarettes, then this disease needs to be controlled very efficiently. There are other plagues, but among others, those are the ones that I have seen causing problems with tobacco.
And doctor, what you can tell us about the importance of the tobacco crop in Honduras?
Okay, yes, that I have seen the evolution of tobacco over the last 4 years, for example. And back then, when I graduated from Zamorano, one of the opportunities that a Zamorano would have were either working on tobacco, like nowadays, you guys graduate, and then out there are a lot of opportunities in sugarcane. Okay, at that time when I graduated, there were a lot of opportunities in tobacco, in Honduras, and also in the Central American region. But in Honduras, there were very good opportunities for work. Then after that, then the laws uh, targeting the protection of the users were eliminating the areas where you can smoke. Public buildings were not places that people would smoke any longer, and then private places were also visited by very few people, and then at the end, what we have is a law that is will not permit the production of tobacco anymore. So historically, Honduras has had a very good production in the following areas. In Danlí, El Paraíso is a big department, in Francisco Morazán, the central region of Honduras, and Comayagua, which is also central region of Honduras, and in the northern part of Honduras there were few areas or some of the areas planted over there with tobacco. So it has been a very important crop in Honduras for the last 30 or 35 years.
Okay.
What you can tell us about how the law affects the leader producer of tobacco? Because in my country, the tobacco law affect almost 19% of the leader producer of tobacco.
90%?
90%.
Okay. Same in Honduras. One strategy that the bigger companies have had for the production of tobacco is that they make a contract with the small farmers, okay? And this contract takes effect in which the small farmers are going to produce the leaves or the tobacco for the companies. These companies will buy the tobacco from the small farmers and they will process the tobacco to make cigars or cigarettes. So any law that is going to affect the bigger producers is going to also have an impact in the small farmers or small tobacco producers. Consequently, it is the same as in your country. Which one? What is your country?
Panama.
Panama. Yeah, it is exactly the same here.
Okay.
Please you give us your point of view about these laws.
Yeah, it is. The law has been established with the main purpose of avoiding the consumers or the users of tobacco, either cigarettes or cigars. It's been done so that those users will not have problems, health problems, such as cancer, high respiratory area problems, teeth problems. You know, the teeth have been affected by the either one of the two products of tobacco, and the breath stinks, and all these kind of things in a person who smokes for so many years. So, on one side, I am in agreement with the law if the law tends to protect those users. But on the other side, I believe that it should not be compulsory that they would eliminate the production of tobacco, because the farmers also need to have a source of income. If this crop has been their traditional crop for production, then it means that they will not be able, because they already have facilities, they have warehouses, they have platforms, they have fields that have been already equipped with materials that are designed to produce tobacco, not other crops. So there is an infrastructure for the tobacco production in these areas. All of that is going to go away if this law compulsory forbids or prohibits the production of tobacco. So I am in the agreement that all these years the companies have been presenting a little box of cigars or cigarettes where they write there, this product is not good for your health. They publish that thing there, and if you can read it, then you will. It is your choice whether you smoke it or not. So, in between these two extremes, which are basically helping sectors of the society, there is something that it should be. I am in agreement with, which is the advertising of the effects that this product will have in your health. Consequently, I believe that this, as long as the companies that produce the cigarettes write down the bad effects of these products, then I think that the production could continue. Not should, but could continue. The other thing is that these companies have been producing tobacco for years, for so many years. Tobacco meaning the products of tobacco, so many years. Consequently, I believe that everything that causes a problem in the people, they should have developed filters such that the effect on your health will be minimal. So they have developed plants and varieties that produce a specific quality of leaves to produce a specific type of cigars or cigarettes. So all these years they could have probably developed varieties that have very small content of nicotine on the leaves, or develop filters that will reduce the effect that the smoking has on your health.
Okay. To conclude the interview, please give us an advice to Zamorano students about excessive consumption of tobacco and how affect to other people.
Yeah, I think as the advertisement example that I gave you, the main thing, as it is with many other abuses that we have, the problem is not the use of the tobacco, is the abuse of the tobacco. Because, for example, I have heard, I don't smoke by choice. I never smoked by choice, and I didn't have the opportunity to be educated toward the effects that the cigarette causes. It's just that I didn't like doing it. But I believe that education is prime on all of these aspects. Your question, for example, I would say that along with this advertisement, there should be programs that will allow the Zamorano students, in this case, to attend these programs or sessions or meetings where we could discuss the bad effect of tobacco. In that sense, the choice of not doing it will be linked to these sessions or discussions that we have, with a very well aware that these effects are going to affect dramatically the health of the students. Because I haven't smoked at all, I cannot give you an advice how to, for example, give up on the use of cigarettes or cigars. But the idea is to have people who have already been smoking even up to 40 cigarettes a day, 2 boxes. I think 20 is the amount that one of the boxes has. So I have heard people who have been smoking 2 boxes of cigarettes a day. So, and you multiply it by years, that is going to be a whole lot of cigarettes or cigars. Consequently, I think that we can bring those kind of people to meetings to explain how they gave it up and or what the effect on all of these things that we mentioned before are if we continue or if you start on this business of smoking cigarettes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, doctor. It was
Thank you very much.
very interesting.
Appreciate it.